Hi, and welcome to Fresh Waves. I'm your host, Bren Masson. Today, we're going to be speaking with Murray from the Royal Canadian Legion in Stouffville. Our branch is branch number 459. The Royal Canadian Legion, for those of you who don't know what it is Canada's largest veteran support and community services organization, founded by veterans for veterans. It was initially formed as a supportive gathering place for those who served in the various branches of the Canadian Armed Forces, as a way for members to access various systems of support from fellow veterans and professionals. It can also be a valuable place to simply swap stories and socialize. We're talking with Murray Pattenden, and he is the immediate past president of the Stouffville Legion. We're going to speak with Murray about all things regarding the Legion in Stouffville, as well as the controversy over moving the Cenotaph and the potential donation of a Leopard tank from the Canadian Department of National Defence. Good morning, Murray. How are you today?
I'm good. How are you this morning?
I'm great, thanks. Thank you for joining us here on Fresh Waves. We are always supporting the Legion, and, we do quite a nice Remember and Stay show here on Fresh Waves. So we're very happy to have you on board. Can you tell us a little bit about the Legion? What is the Legion for those people who are new to Canada or our community and don't know what it is?
Well, originally the Legion was created. It was founded by veterans for veterans. So mostly after the Second World War, veterans decided to get a organization to get together for all the veterans to come and support each other throughout from the wars and everything. So the Legion was basically funded as incorporated, so it is national. There is a Dominion Command. It's out of Ottawa, so it's all of Canada. So there's, I think over 1,300 branches in Canada, up over, I think it was almost 30,000 members, I guess.
Wow.
But the main thing was, it was founded by veterans for veterans. But we advocate for the care and benefits of all the people who have served Canada, and it's here for assistance to the veterans, including their families and all that stuff. So that's the main part of what the Legion is. So once they get into the communities, then we become cornerstones of communities. So we are a large volunteer base. No one's paid. So, we're just here to provide local services, supports to build a stronger Canada, helping our veterans, supporting our seniors, providing programs for our youth. We try to raise funds to keep the Legions going and volunteering wherever we can in the community. So, there is a lot about the Legion, just not about the veterans and whatnot, but also for the community. So,
it sounds fantastic. It sounds like a great organization to get involved with.
Yes, it is. It is. There's a lot. It's how do I say this? You don't really know all what the Legion does. If you become a member, there's as with other, I'm going to say parties or groups or organizations. The Royal Canadian Legion does have third-party incentives, like for discounts of different things. So there is a lot out there for members. So it is pretty good.
Mm-hmm. And originally it was for veterans and supporting veterans, but now it's much broader than that, isn't it? And anyone can be a member.
So up until about, I'm going to say, maybe 10 years ago, most thing was, veterans for veterans. It had to be a relative of a veteran to get into the Legion, but then they changed it because the numbers were dwindling. That we weren't getting the families, the veterans to come in. So to keep the Legion going, we sort of expanded. They expanded the criteria for anybody basically to become a member. So basically, it's now any Canadian citizen or citizen of an allied nation If you're 18 years or older, you're welcome to become a member of the Legion.
Now, is there a cost to become a member?
Yeah, so each branch sets their own yearly dues. There is a per capita that we pay to our Dominion Command, but each branch sets their own per capita. So it could range from anywhere from $50 to maybe $70, depending on the branch. Ours right now we're at $65.
And that's
there's
per year.
That's for a year. And I think it's 55 for seniors. So we do have that also.
So on top of that, if you are attending programs at the Legion, is there a cost involved, or does that membership just cover everything?
No. So depends what you do. That just gets you the membership into the Legion. So with that membership, you can go into any Legion in Canada. So it's just not
really?
Limited. You're not limited to just like for us. You're not just limited to Stouffville. If you are up north, if you're out east, out west, Vancouver or the East Coast and Nova Scotia, you can go into any Legion and you're can get all the benefits of that local Legion.
Huh.
So, yeah.
That's fabulous.
And usually sometimes, I'm not going to say always, but sometimes if you do go down into the United States, some of their local Legions and posts do allow members to come in as long as they have their card, but not all, but some of them do. So.
Well, that's good because there's a lot of places in the U.S. where there's quite large Canadian populations.
Yes.
I know people who go to Phoenix, and I think they're welcomed into one of the Legions near Scottsdale or something. And it's a big part of.
I think there was even one down in Florida that they've opened up to help with the Canadians that go down there for the winter. So. Mm-hmm. But like I said, that one fee does that. Like if you get into any other programs, there's a cost associated with, if you want into the any other incentives, like you pay the cost for that.
Right.
If some activities that we do, the cost is free, but there's always a cost. The Legion can't pay for everything, but we try the best to help where we can.
Can anyone rent the facility? I know over in Stouffville you have a beautiful building with a very big reception hall. I've been to wedding receptions there, funerals, library organization events, and things like that. So can anybody rent that space, or do you have to be a member in order to rent the space?
No, anybody can rent the space. We rent to the community. There's a price for people of the community, and then there's members. If the members rent it, then we do drop the price a bit for the members just because it is their building. Mm-hmm. But anybody can rent that banquet hall. It is a nice hall. Probably one of the only ones around our area, anyways. But anyone can rent it. But there is certain criteria that we ask when people are renting. What's it for? What do you? What's type of use you're going to use, because there is still some, rules and regulations that we have to follow as part of the Legion, that what we don't want as far as being on our property, how it looks to the public. So we don't support, organized crime and all that stuff. So,
right.
Like when we ask what you rent the hall for, just as long as it's within boundaries, and anybody can rent it. So.
Yeah, you're not going to have an illegal gambling night or something like that, but.
We have to. Yeah, so like I said, there's Legion rules, and then we follow all the other rules too. So
you have some rules and regulations, but they're all very, as far as I've come to know, they're reasonable, and you do have a liquor license. So if someone's in there for an event, there is the possibility to have a bar, and that's always a good thing.
Yeah. Like I said, it's just whatever. No, everyone's there. We're there to offer our facility for people to celebrate something. Just as long as the objects and rules are not broken of what we stand for, that's fine. Like we want people to come and enjoy it. So,
right.
Yeah,
Now,
so
do you have more?
Just as long as you respect our boundaries, it's our building kind of thing.
Yeah.
But it's pretty good.
So you have, I'm assuming, more than just the banquet hall there. What other facilities are there? Are there other rooms to rent? Is there a?
We do have a boardroom that rent. It sits 12 comfortably. It does have a TV hookup for that people can do presentations and whatnot. We do rent that out also. That's basically it for the renting. Then we just have our own club room on the one side where all the members come in. We do allow the public in there to come in also just to see what it's like, and they can chat with the members. We do have pool tables in there, shuffleboards. We do have card games in there once a week for the public to come in too. So,
what kind of cards do you play?
Euchre.
Euchre.
We have a euchre. Yeah, we have a euchre night. Yep.
No bridge?
No. No bridge. No. So,
well, there you go. There's always room for expansion and growth.
There is. Yeah, we always try to find different things to do, so to get people in. Yeah.
And there's a dart league there. Your dart league is famous in Stouffville.
Yeah, every Thursday night. So that's open to the public too. They start late September and then they go into April. So yeah, that is a long-standing league. Probably 25 years anyways, I would say that it's been around from the old Legion. Yeah. So, so that's one of our staples. That's at we have euchre once a week they are trying to go year round, but they do take some time off in the summer because people being away. But, then we do have pool tournaments and, we have whole shuffleboard tournaments and whatever else we can think of to get people in. So,
and you have some big events throughout the year. Like I've been to a dance or two, and I was the MC at one of your Christmas lunches. And there's quite a bit of going-ons with that kind of thing too.
Yeah. So besides like the Legion, as people know, most of our thing is the Remembrance Day, which is November 11th. We host the two ceremonies that we do. We have our own service at our Cenotaph that's located in the Stouffville Cemetery. And then we host the one for the town Cenotaph on November 11th. But throughout the year, we try to have a ceremony for Vimy Day, which is April 9th. We do dances for seniors. We do community dances, dinners. We've held lunches. Fall and spring, we try to do a lunch. It all depends on our volunteers. We host, there's been bazaars. Our Lady Auxiliary has some bazaars going too. We try to host a lot of things. So whatever we can think of to get the community in, we try it. So, yeah.
Now, COVID must have been pretty hard on the Legion.
Yes, it was.
Yeah. And I imagine on the people that are regularly going there, because it's such a community hub, and to have that no longer available must have been really hard, both for you and for them.
Yeah. I just started my second term as president when that came about. So it was a good wake up. We had to really scrounge to, what do we do to keep this going? Like the Legion, we try to make a lot of money, but we don't have a big, we make money off our members kind of thing. So when we had to shut the doors there for over a year, it hurt us. So we were able to get a couple loans and grants that helped us through the time. We have paid back what we needed to, and able to survive and keep our doors open. And actually, throughout that, our members stayed strong. We didn't lose. Maybe if we lost maybe 5% of our membership, but then ever since COVID, our membership has came back up and it's coming back strong. So there is a support there that we almost closed the doors for good, but then, like I said, we fought to keep going, stay alive, and it worked. And now we start going strong again. So we're one of the lucky ones.
Fabulous. Now, how old do you have to be a member of the Legion?
18.
18.
Yeah.
Okay. So the drinking age is 19, but you have to be 18 to join.
Yes. So I got to bring it forth. The people, yes, when you made the comment there, drinking age 19. So the Legion is not all about the drinking part. No, it's the Legion tries to promote itself as being the sport for the people. So we like to class it more as the social aspect. You know, you can come in, you don't need, and we don't promote it. We don't want people to just come in and say, oh, you have to come in and drink. No, that's not the whole intent. The whole intent is to come in for the Legion to, socialize and partake in activities that we do, just to be part of the community and support what our cause is, and that's to help the veterans. So 18 is what our Dominion Command picked as an age to come in to, we hopefully that they come in, partake in all our social stuff that we do. So, yeah, as far as the 19 and drinking age, that we don't really promote that. It's just, come in and socialize and partake in all the activities that we do. We have a great sports program throughout the Legion. So, we just want people to come in and be entertained.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
No, I mean, I think in years gone by, the Legion did get a reputation for being just a drinking hole, a place to go and get a cheap drink. But that's changed over the years.
Oh, yeah, that's totally changed. Like I said, we've got rid of the stigma of that we're not a drinking hole. We're here for social. We can't offer the cheap alcohol pricing. We got to compete with everybody else, and we got bills to pay and things to do. So so that the day and age is pretty well not there anymore. We try our best, but no, we gotta, like I said, we gotta pay the bills to keep the doors open. So
yep. So, in terms of paying the bills, that's a really big space that you have. And I understand that it was donated to the Legion from one of the developers when you guys were looking for a new home?
The building?
Yeah.
No, so originally, so from the old Legion on the 9th line north of Main Street, the Legion got expropriated by the Region of New York when they wanted to realign 9th line and Main Street. Mm-hmm. So throughout that expropriation, we had to find property within the town to move. So it was all through the expropriation of the old Legion that we were able to build the new one. The Region of New York paid for everything. So they had to through the Expropriation Act. So it does benefit having a newer building, but there's still a lot of associated costs with the new building too. So there was a lot of work in that with the committee and everything, a couple of years planning. But
heating alone for a building that big is going to be astronomical.
Even though we got energy efficient items, so it's still going out there. So
yeah, I can't even imagine the heating costs. Okay, so there's talk now about moving the Cenotaph.
Yeah,
and why would you want to move the Cenotaph?
So the thing is with the Cenotaph, and I made a presentation to Stouffville Council. I'm originally from Stouffville. I've born here, lived here all my life, and the original Cenotaph was down in Memorial Park, and the name Memorial Park became all part of the original dedication of the Cenotaph. And back then there was guns, military guns, and that were donated to the town as part of remembrance, as part of this Cenotaph. So over the years, things have changed. The Cenotaph has moved to different spots. Went to Civic Square, went to the old Legion. It's now come to this Legion. And Memorial Park has changed. Like I said, there's no more of the military guns that were there, have disappeared, vanished. No one knows where they went. But the whole point is how many people know what Memorial Park really stands for? So in my mind, when I brought it forth to our members, and some of our members didn't really know the story of Memorial Park, and I said about the Cenotaph, that's where it originated. And I say that's where the Cenotaph should be. Go back to Memorial Park so that people know what Memorial Park means. Mm-hmm. And then there's two. I'm not sure even know if people already know at the south end of Church Street to the entrance into the park, there's 2 pillars there, pillars of honor that have names of the men and women of past wars that have died. So that was all part of the entrance into Memorial Park, along with the cenotaph that was just down from it. So the whole point was to get the cenotaph back to where it originated from, so that people know, why Memorial Park was named Memorial Park, and then just give it a larger area for people to gather. And this is why the cenotaph is here. So that's one of the biggest things. So,
okay, well, that's perfectly understandable. So Memorial Park then was originally a place of memorial. That's where the cenotaph was originally. Is that it? Yes.
So the current situation where the original ball diamond is, there's the new pavilion that the Lions built years ago. That was an old pavilion way back when, and that's in front of that was the Saphir cenotaph.
Okay.
That's where it was located way back when. So, that was donated to the town. So the Legions have sort of helped the town over the years with the cenotaph and moving it. And they figured the one year moved the cenotaph to the Legion because tried to give it a permanent home, but it just keeps moving. So us as part, that cenotaph that's located at our branch is the town's cenotaph. And we just like to, let's get it back to a permanent spot that everyone knows, the whole thing is to remember why we have it and why our Memorial Park is called Memorial Park.
Well, why do we have a cenotaph anyway? I mean, there's people who are just new to this community. There's people who are new to Canada, and those numbers are growing every day, and they may not know what a cenotaph is.
So there's many...
it's not really a graveyard as such.
So there's many meanings of a cenotaph. It could be a grave, or it could be a building, but basically what our cenotaph, and we class our cenotaph as a monument that was erected, dedicated, and it's dedicated to the memories of all the men and women of Richard Stouffville who lost their lives. And I don't think that's the original point for Richard Stouffville, but there's people that now come live in Richard Stouffville that is also part of this. They've been a veteran of the military or RCMP that who lost their lives during the wars, world wars, or any other conflict that Canada partakes in. And the whole point of the cenotaph is we're here to remember them and all these people that fought to give Canada its freedom that it has now, for us to enjoy the freedom that we have. And we can't let that go.
No, I agree with you 100%.
So having a cenotaph, a monument, where we can go, the residents of Richard Stouffville can go to it's just not Remembrance Day, November 11th, but any other time they walk by, it's there. They can remember that the people that gave freedom for what we have now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, well, we have to take a first break, and when we come back from our break, we will continue our conversation about remembering, because I think it's really important, and you and I are on the same page with that, that's for sure. You're listening to Fresh Waves. This morning we're talking with Murray Pattenden, who is the immediate past president of the Stouffville Legion, which is branch number 459. We'll be right back, so stay tuned. Hi, you're listening to Fresh Waves, and I'm your host, Bren Masson. If you'd like to hear any of this podcast again, you can go to our YouTube channel, Fresh Waves Radio. Hit subscribe. We love to have subscribers, and you can find all of the past broadcasts and podcasts there on our YouTube channel. If you have a story that you'd like to share or a subject for a future show, drop me a line. Bren at freshwaves.ca. We love to hear from you, so any suggestions are appreciated. We're going to get right back to the show now, so stay tuned. Welcome back to Fresh Waves. I'm your host, Bren Masson. This morning we're talking with Murray Pattenden, immediate past president of the Stouffville Legion. For any of you who are curious about the Legion and want to go and check it out, it's over on Mo Star Road. I don't even need to give you an address. You just drive down the street, and where you see all the Canadian flags, that's the Legion. And it's Legion branch number 459, isn't it?
That's correct.
And they all have their different numbers, don't they? All across Canada. Every Legion has a different number, which identifies it, I guess, through some main database.
It's all they're numbered as for when they get their charter.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. So that would kind of say with all the number that Stouffville's been around for a long time, the Legion.
Yeah, it started back in 1947.
Oh, okay.
So, yeah, we're, as far as Ontario, we're about mid-mark, I would say, as far as our number.
Okay.
Yeah, but, yes.
All right, so we were talking earlier about a cenotaph and what that is, and how it's not necessarily a graveyard, but it's a spot where we commemorate the soldiers that have fought for this country. And I think it's a really important part of a community. I mean, Stouffville originally was built by pacifists, and they made a legal application to become a pacifist community. But when the world wars hit, many, many, many people from Stouffville fought in the wars, and people that were related to people from Stouffville. And, you know, the arms of World War II especially are really long-reaching. And for me, I have my father's brother, oldest brother, was a gunner in World War II, and he was shot down over Copenhagen. And my other uncle, his younger brother, my Uncle Charlie, drove a tank on D-Day. And he wasn't one of the tanks that was on the beach. He went around the beach and then headed towards the town behind the beach and all the fighting that was going on the beach. So he had some amazing stories to tell about World War II. He has passed away, but I actually am now the proud possessor, because I don't think you can own artifacts like this. But when the town was taken over, the Canadians were considered to be the ultimate heroes. People came out in droves to welcome the Canadian soldiers, and it was just huge celebrations. And he went into a local shop and found a vase that he thought his mother would really like. And you can imagine it's about maybe 10 inches tall, and it's glass, and it's painted, and it's gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. And he said, I want to send this home to my mother. And she kind of looked at him like, Monsieur, it's impossible. How can we deliver such a beautiful glass vase? It will be broken. And he said, you know what? Let's try. So they wrapped it and shipped it, and it's been in my family ever since.
Oh, that's nice.
Isn't it cute? That's it.
Yes, that's a good story.
Yeah, during those war-torn times, it's amazing that vase made it all the way across the ocean into Timmins, Ontario.
Yes, they didn't have the package like they have now.
Nope, absolutely. Yes. I think she was using old rags and things to wrap it in. Anyway, so I understand that the cenotaph is really important, and I'm going to ask you now, if the cenotaph, which has been approved to be in the location of the 150 gardens that were put in by the Horticultural Society, which is, by the way, celebrating its 100th birthday this year, would you be opposed to locating the cenotaph somewhere else so that the garden doesn't have to be destroyed?
So when we approached the town to take back the cenotaph, there was a couple locations that the Legion had in mind, and I revert back to the pillars there south of Church Street at the entrance. But that was just our proposal, and sort of up to the town. Say, listen, it's up to you to find a spot that you would like to have this cenotaph. So there was a lot of other sites that we talked about, and I know that the town looked at that site where the garden is. It is a good site, but if there's other sites that could be incorporated for the cenotaph, like we're all for it. It's just, let's work together. I know that the even the Cenotaph and the garden could probably be incorporated all in one, or so we move it somewhere within the vicinity. It just matters, we can all work together to keep everything. It's not a point. We don't want to destroy the garden. No, garden can be moved, but we want to we want to keep everybody happy.
Yeah.
The Legion is, we just want the Cenotaph moved back to where it started, kind of thing. And I want everyone to be, when the Cenotaph moved, there's always flags, there's gardens, there's, it can be incorporated together, or it can find a different spot. But we're leaving that up to the town to come up with a solution for that location. And we just offer our support to, hopefully find the best spot.
Yeah, it's interesting though when you drive around through different communities, for example. There's so much to consider when you think of having a cenotaph, because although it's only once a year for Remembrance Day, there are people who are going to want to go there when it's not Remembrance Day and have their own moments and their own time. And that has to be honored as well. But on Remembrance Day, I don't know about you, but if you look at the weather in the last 50 or 60 years, it's always cold, miserable, raining or snowing, windy. It's awful on Remembrance Day. It's like the weather gods know that it's Remembrance Day and they say, bring it on.
Yeah. That's right, yes.
Honestly, I've even seen it where we've had this beautiful stretch of warm weather, but as soon as November 11th comes, it's finished. And people then we're talking about a lot of seniors in our community who have relatives who've been involved in the world wars and who are, they want to remember them. It's their day to remember them, and they can't stay out in the cold. These people are too old and frail. They can't be out in the cold for a long time. So there needs to be a place where they can go inside, come out and do the ceremony, and then go back inside. And it seems to me that it's nice to have the Cenotaph at the Legion, because then they can go inside, go outside, go back inside. The Legion can put on a little bit of a display, and you have all of your memorabilia out in the front there. It's a nice opportunity for people who don't get to the Legion very often to go to the Legion. So I can see it as a plus to have it at the Legion, but then again, the Legion is not on a main thoroughfare, and so the Cenotaph kind of gets missed in a lot of other community events.
Yeah, look, I did hear that, and it is great that we can offer that for the people that come for our services. When speaking with the town to offer, take back the Cenotaph, and we're down at the Memorial Park, and I sort of said after wasn't in my presentation, but when I was down at the park with them, the town representatives, I sort of said, here, wherever we pick, we have the opportunity. There's Latcham Hall that could be opened up for washrooms and to keep warm due to the weather. Or, we try to incorporate, depending where you are, the pavilion. Is there a spot that we can put heaters, and, if it's raining, people can be out of the elements. So there is opportunity. I know it's a little bit, might be, depending on the location of the new Cenotaph, could be a little bit of a further walk, but at least there would be. The town has agreed that they would offer at least Latcham Hall, offer it up for the warmth and whatnot prior to. So I know it does take away from the Legion that's why we're there, but in hindsight, it's also gives us, if it's located back in the park and there's a bigger area for us to hold the service. And I know I get from the spectators that the weather is bad, and we always try to cut back the service so it's not as long if it is bad weather. And we've all said ourselves as Legion members that help with the Cenotaph, with the ceremonies, we just say, we have to make this as fast as possible for the spectators so they're not standing on the cold. And we always say to ourselves, we're not complaining, because the veterans that fought for us, they fought in all the weather, so we're going to be out here to promote our service the best we can.
Yep.
If they could down it, we got to do it. So We just try to do it as fast as we can so the public isn't outstanding too long. But like I said, there is the possibility for Latcham Hall, the pavilion, different things to keep people warm when it's down the park. So
yeah,
there is thought. There's ways we can do it. So it's got to work together at it.
Yeah, I think so too. I think when a community comes together of like-minded people, all with the same intent, then I think it could be a win-win as long as people are all talking.
Yeah, it is. It can be. We have a perfect chance here to work together. Like I said, with the horticulture, with Legion, with the town, any other group. We have a chance to promote something really big for the town of Stouffville, which are other people of Stouffville. To make something nice and memorable.
Yeah, and I think there's different ways of remembering people. I know that I guess it's the Department of National Defense has a leopard tank available to donate to Stouffville if we want it, and the town has said that they do want it. Personally, I am not fond of seeing a big machine of war like that. Maybe, I mean, even though my uncle drove a tank in World War II, it was shrapnel that got inside the tank that eventually wounded him and caused a blood condition that he eventually passed away from. So to see that tank all the time would not be something that I personally would want to see. If I was a resident, I sure as heck wouldn't want that in my backyard. And so for me personally, I'm not a fan of the big tank. I know there's other people. When I posed that to my husband, what do you think of having a tank? Oh, cool. That's so neat. It's a whole different attitude. Oh, that's so cool. Boys and their toys. But, personally, I'm not in favor of the tank. And I was interested to find out that the Legion actually wasn't the spearheader of this tank being brought in, that there are other cenotaphs all over the place, Markham and communities around us, that do not have big machines of war as the memorial of their cenotaph.
Yeah, that's correct. When I approached the town to move the cenotaph, then also it was brought forth from the town representatives that in moving the cenotaph, would the Legion be okay to incorporate a tank that the town has been offered? And I went, well, no, sure. It's not the tank has, yes, I get mixed feelings from everybody about the tank. Would I say I'm against it? Personally, I would say I don't mind the tank, but I also want to just clarify that I know the tank does bring other avenues of negativity kind of thing, of bad things. But throughout Canada, throughout everywhere, yes, there's cenotaphs that don't have any, but then there's a lot of cenotaphs that do have military items, guns and tanks or trucks or jeeps. There's parks that I go to that have different ceremonies that have all the different military items. Like I said, Legion's not against it, but I'm not going to speak on behalf of. I can't speak on behalf of everybody. Like you mentioned that you really don't like it. Your husband does. There's always going to be that 50-50. That who do we please?
And there's going to be people who are new to our community from war-torn countries, which is the reality of our world right now, who would potentially be triggered by seeing something like that and triggered into a state that is sad, and they've lost people recently to those big ugly machines. That'd be my opinion.
Yes, they get that, but there's also, and I'm not going to be, I can't be bad about anything. Yes, it's the negativity that's tank there that hurt or killed. But there's also the opposite side where the tank is there that supported and helped.
And protected,
protect you to be able to survive and come to a free country. So there's like I said, I'm not going to speak for everybody. There's going to be the ups and the downs.
Yeah, it's a real double-edged sword, but I'd rather not have it than have it.
Yes, yeah, and that's understandable.
Because there's ways of commemorating all those soldiers. There's those bronze statues that you see of the unknown soldier, and that represent all soldiers. There's the helmet on the ground. You've seen that before. I find those very powerful and very moving. I know I used to be a part of the Whitchurch Highlands Public School Volunteer Committee because my kids went there. And one year we did the cards for Kandahar, and the kids all wrote cards. We did it around Remembrance Day, but they sent them to the guys at Christmas time as Christmas cards. But we did the project on Remembrance Day or during Remembrance Day.
We still do that. Yes.
And it was such a worthwhile endeavor. And there were poems written by grade 8 students that were so moving. But the most poignant for me was a grade 1 student that wrote simply inside the card, "Dear soldier boy, please don't die." And there wasn't a dry eye in the place when she read her card. It was just so beautiful. And simple, and it's just that simple. So to remember these people who are in really awful places and situations right now, fighting for peace in the world, I think it's really important, and I think we can commemorate them very effectively without putting a tank in Stouffville. That's just my opinion.
I know there's going to be opinions out there, and like I said, hopefully, and I said moving forward with this, I know the town is going to have a public survey consultation come out very shortly on this. I said I'm hoping that out of all this, everything, we all come together somehow to promote this.
Yep.
I know there's a lot of slack with this, the horticulture, and I'm hoping that we can all come together and work together. If it's in the same spot or if something's moved, like I said, we're just hoping that we all work together, we find a good spot, and that we get the final resting spot for the Cenotaph. If it's with the tank or if it's with not, that's going to be up to the town to figure out if we're going to incorporate it or not. But
I think if we all work together, then I think that we'll have a spot where everyone's going to be happy to be there. And I would like to have a spot where it does have a bit more visibility. I mean, I was driving through Aurora one year, and all of a sudden the street was flooded with all these people, and I thought, where are they all coming from? Because every Remembrance Day, even if I have an appointment, and that day I did with my mother, so I had no choice but to be on the road, pull over, stop for our moment of silence. We listen to usually CBC or Whistle FM for my show, the Remembrance Day show, and things like that. But there was all these people. I couldn't believe the number of people in Aurora who attended their service. Yep. Yeah. And they were on foot. Most of them were walking. And it was businesses that were close by. It was schools that were close by. Subdivisions where people walked from their houses over to the Cenotaph. To choose a spot like that where it's got such accessibility for so many people in the town is really important.
Yeah, so when we met together, the town, that's where we tried to pick a spot that, okay, so when we close off, Molestar Street is a busy street that connects Main Street and Hoover Park. When we move it down to the park, we're trying to find a location that the town can close off little bits of road that won't interfere with residents. There's other ways out and around, and then there's parking. Vast area where people can stand, a lot safer than where it is right now. So instead of standing on the street, because the police, and not much the town, but the police don't really want us to shut that street down, but we try not to. But at least if we get to put it down in the park, we can. It's isolated. It's going to be a lot safer. The traffic won't be buzzing by people. So a lot of positives. So, like I said, this comes down to hopefully we can all work together and, like I said, create one good memorial.
Yeah. That's a great goal. So let's hope that all happens.
And like I said, with the town doing the survey, the public consultation, and hopefully whatever comes out of that, then we move forward. So
yeah, for sure. And it's nice. I mean, obviously there's just the, bad banter and people getting upset right now. But in the end, this has given a lot of recognition to the Cenotaph, which it didn't have before. It's given a lot of recognition to the Legion, and the Legion could use that.
Yes.
And as long as we keep it in a positive light.
That's right, positive side, yes.
But it's a good opportunity. I've had it in my mind to interview the Legion for years, and it just gets put by the wayside. And then I think about it around Remembrance Day, and everybody's too busy to give an interview because they're all getting ready for Remembrance Day.
Yes,
so this is a nice opportunity to push forth some information about the Legion, about what the Cenotaph is and what it means to the community. And I think it's a really important part of our community and something that should not be forgotten or pushed into a corner somewhere and only seen once a year. Yeah,
that's right. When you made if the new newer Canadians that come over, we want to show. We need them to remember, same as us, promote our remembrance of our veterans that gave us our free country. So us to educate them what the Cenotaph means, what Remembrance Day means. Take that 2 minutes of silence to honor the people that, gave us Canada the way what it is now. So being out down in the park would offer that. Just being at the Legion, it's kind of hidden, like you say, but we're here to promote it. If it's out in the open more, we can promote it more and show what the Legion is. Yes. So
yeah, and maybe I know that it will. You always have an event on Remembrance Day at the Legion, and maybe it's one of those things where after the Cenotaph ceremony, everyone goes back to the Legion and has a little beverage and a little cookie, and there's another ceremony there of some sort.
Yeah, we're and that's all part of the whole thing. We moved the Cenotaph from the Legion, but the Legion is always going to be part of with the town doing the ceremony, and we'll, as long as we can, the Legion will still be offering the lunch after. I know it might be a little bit trek for people to come back to the Legion, but we're still going to offer the luncheon after the fact where people can still come back, socialize, reminisce, and, speak to the members of the Legion. So we're still going to be partaking. We're still going to be offering. Yeah, we're not going anywhere. So
yeah. Well, I'm so happy to have spoken with you this morning. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for being so candid and honest and open about the situation as it currently is. And thank you for sharing the information about the Legion. I think if we're going to conclude the show, I'd like to just say that anyone can be a member of the Legion and that people should maybe contact the Legion, go over, see what the facility's like.
Yes, just stop in, come see what the Legion's about. Yes, we're an organization you think might be for veterans, but we're here for the community. We're, along with other organizations, clubs in Stouffville, we're here to support everybody in Stouffville. So you want to come, and if you're interested in volunteering on different things, it is rewarding. Just, with everything that we do as far as our veterans, but rewarding for offering stuff to the town, offering things to the members, and offering items to the seniors and youth in town. So it is very rewarding, and hopefully people can either call or stop in to investigate and hopefully become members.
I think that's fantastic. So again, thank you so much for joining us this morning, Murray, and we hope to be able to speak with you again soon.
Yep. Anytime, Brenda.
Okay. Thanks a lot.
All right. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Well, that's it for Fresh Waves today. Thank you for joining us. If you have any questions about the Legion, you can just look them up and give them a call. They're over on Mostar Street, or better yet, drop in, see what they do, see what they have. It's a really beautiful Legion. If you have any stories or anything you'd like to share with Fresh Waves, if you have any comments about this show or other shows that we've done, do drop us a line. Bren at freshwaves.ca gets you to me, Bren at freshwaves.ca. Have a great day, everybody. Remember, a new thought can change a mind. This has been Fresh Waves, and we'll talk to you again next week.